As we know, this is the 1-year mark of when we locked everything down. And as we were locking things down, we all know my mental state was not there. But here we are, a year later. I'm doing better. I'm happy. I'm healthy. I'm recording videos, which is amazing. So I'm working on a new doll for you all right now. It will hopefully be released in April, first week. It could even be released this month. That would mean 3 videos in 1 month. That'd be insane. But we're giving ourselves grace and we're giving ourselves soft deadlines because that's just what we're doing. So I'm working on a new doll for all of you. But while I'm working on it, I wanted to share something with you. And I was like, well, what can I share? I don't have anything. I was like, actually, yes, you do. You do have something that you can share. You recorded a whole doll and then did absolutely nothing with the footage. So because of this, I was like, all right, let's create a video. Let's show them what I accomplished. It's really fun. It was kind of, it wasn't random. What's the words? Words I'm looking for. Out of nowhere, like it wasn't something that had to do with anything. It was just themed as a St. Patrick's Day doll. I wanted to involve some Irish culture, I wanted to make a little Irish girl for St. Patrick's Day last year, and I had the idea, so I was like, what do I have? I have this cool doll, and she is green, and she has Celtic knots all over her, which is very Irish, even though I'm very sure she's the Loch Ness Monster's daughter, which I believe Loch Ness is in Scotland? I didn't do my research. But Celtic knots are very Irish, and so I decided to make this doll and incorporate those Irish bits. And she's green, she has red hair. It's very fun, and I hope you guys enjoy it. My next series I will be doing is Sailor Moon. So if you're excited about Sailor Moon or you like Sailor Moon, get ready for that. Some individuals were in my comments letting me know that I've dropped the ball on my Zodiac series. Not to worry, I will also be doing those. They won't be in the order that they're supposed to be in anymore because Pisces is where I stopped and Pisces ends on March 20th. So unless I hurry up and make a whole doll by the end of March, which I'm already working on a doll, that would be impossible. We're not doing that. But maybe for April, we will actually get into Pisces. So that would be fun. Those are just some updates. Again, as I always say, if you like it, give me a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down, I guess, because it lets me know. And comment, share, subscribe, because I'm making things now. As you can see, I'm doing better. I've cleaned off this from the last time, so hopefully at some point I will actually have a nice aesthetic background. That would be cool, you know, for things. So here it is, my little Irish girl. Let me know what you think, and let's get to it. So the file name for this doll is actually Irish Beauty, which is interesting to me that I said Irish Girl, not realizing that Irish Beauty was the name I had given it a year ago. But that's kind of what I wanted for this doll, because again, it was close to St. Patrick's Day and I was hoping to be, you know, actually on schedule for something, which I was on schedule. I just didn't upload any of this footage. So I'm glad that I was able to have it and edit it and make this for you guys to watch while we're waiting for Sailor Mars to be finished, because spoiler, that's who I'm doing first, is Sailor Mars. So that's really exciting. So to start, like we always do, I went ahead and cut off all her hair. I know her hair is already red, and we're making it red, but it just makes it fun. I didn't want it to be that kind of red. So here we are, taking off all of her hair, wiping off all of her factory paint as always, because we want a clean canvas to work with. I also go ahead and take off all of the paint on her head. I cannot remember for the life of me if I painted her head. I guess we'll see. I can't remember. Okay, so for this doll I am using yarn hair to make her hair, and I'm actually not using wefts. I'm actually rooting the yarn, which is a little bit different from things we've done in the past. I have rooted with yarn before. I just did it before I had a YouTube channel, so you guys didn't get to see that process. But here I am showing you the process. I'm taking, I believe this is just 100% acrylic yarn. I took all of the pieces and made this bundle of fluff. I love these colors with her skin. And I'm taking my rerooting tool and I'm going to gather it up with the rerooting tool in between those two little prongs. And then, because you can't see, because I cannot be in frame to save my life, I am putting it into the plugs that are already there. Now, when you reroot with yarn, you do not need to put it in every hole. That is like a lot. It's like thick. So I don't think I put it in every hole in this. I hope I didn't, because this, like, look at how much that is. That's so much, and it looks really cool. But once you are done, you go ahead, and I use Fabri-Tac glue. I know some other people just use glue-all. I kind of want it to be waterproof, so I use Fabri-Tac, and I just make sure that once the glue is inside, that it touches every single plug that I have put in there. So I'm just taking a Q-tip and just making sure it gets on every single end, so that way it is secure. Once it's dry, I put the head back on the doll. Not everybody does that, but too many times my Mr. Super Clear has chipped. We don't want to do that. Here we go, starting off. I think I forgot to press record. As you can see, I already have a white layer down, but we always put down 3 coats of Mr. Super Clear to make sure that we have a nice base with enough tooth for the watercolor pencils to grab onto. Now here I try to lay down some pigment for her lips, but it doesn't really work out. It's kind of too much pigment, so I do go ahead and remove it, and later you will see that I use the watercolor pencil to go ahead and put the lips on. I know I've said this before, but this art form, this medium, is all about layering, putting down as many layers as you can to build up color. So I haven't even started drawing the eyes because I know that that white is not as opaque as I want it to be. I don't really like using acrylics. I don't know if I'll use acrylics in the future, but at my skill level right now, I don't feel comfortable using a paintbrush to lay down paint smoothly. So I have to rely on pencils, and sometimes when the skin isn't a natural color, it's hard to get that opaque color that you like. So for me, I want to make sure that the eyes, the sclera, are as opaque as possible before I start putting on the details of the eye, like the pupil, the catch lights, and all of that. So this game is about layering, layering. And if you see when I go through with the Q-tip and kind of lighten everything and like blend it out, it's because I want to make sure that the details that I don't want to be opaque are soft, but they come through. So the highlights and the blushing, I blend it all together and then layer to bring up the color. I don't want just a stark color there in one spot, because that doesn't look natural. That's not how it looks under the skin when your cheeks are blushing. It looks like the blood is coming up to the surface of the skin to make you blush. So to accomplish this, we have to lay it down, blend it, seal it, do it again. It does look like I am putting down a base of color for the lips with the pastels, which is a very light pink instead of that brash red. I thought I just put down the pencils, but I did use this light pink color, which I enjoy more. I know I do go in with pencils at some point because I edited this video, so I know I did that, but it looks like I put down a base of something a little bit softer, which turned out better in the end. I don't know if you can really tell, but I'm having like a really hard time here putting down some of the color, the lighter colors. If you can see, her face is really shiny, and that to me, looking at it in hindsight, tells me that I did not put on my MSC correctly. And if this ever happens to you while you're doing this, a quick fix is you're noticing your colors are not going down the way you want them to. They're kind of just sliding off or like not even being put down. All you have to do is stop what you're doing, go back and reseal the doll correctly this time, making sure that you're far enough away and not too close, because that will kind of bring back that tooth that you don't get. If you get too close to the doll while you're spraying, it doesn't give a tooth. It kind of just like dumps all of the sealant onto the vinyl, and that's not going to work. You want to get a nice even tooth all over the face, so that way your pencil has something to grab onto. There's the pencil. I knew I put pencil down. I do give her a bright pink lip, which I like because of the contrast to her skin. The oranges and the pinks and the reds really come out. In the finished doll, I really love how the colors pop on her face. It really works out in the end. I think here we're really starting to see the personality of the doll. I really think she looks very sassy, very boss-like, very regal. I really enjoy the expression on this doll's face. I don't know if I did it on purpose or if that's just how it turned out. Sometimes that's how it works. You go in just trying to get the proportions right, and you end up with your creation having a personality you hadn't intended, but it ends up working out, which is a really awesome coincidence. did something a little bit different for this doll in the fact that I actually took the gloss varnish, I believe it's Liquitex gloss varnish, and actually glossed her lips and her eyes. I hadn't really done it before. I mean, maybe I did it once, but I really thought that this doll could use a little bit of extra something, so I went ahead and glossed her eyes. This is supposed to give her a more realistic look, and I think it turned out okay. I do think, again, she looks very mature and very boss-like, but here is a really cool detail in her skin that I wanted to bring out. So I took just some gold acrylic paint and I painted all of the Celtic knots on her skin, so that way they would show through. I do give her clothes, so you can't see them with her clothes on, but I did think it was kind of fun. It looked almost like shapewear or a bodysuit that she was wearing, and I really wanted to bring out those details because I think that they're beautiful. I just really think the details are stunning, and that gold paint just brings them out and makes the doll even more cool. That's one of the best things about Monster High. They were such unique dolls, and I love, love, love their designs. But since this doll is no longer a fish, I am going to go ahead and cut off all of her fins and her webbed finger. So I do go ahead and remove that. We don't need it. She's not a fish anymore. She's a nice Irish lady. Actually, I don't know what kind of creature is she, because she still has like fins for ears. So maybe she's more human than fish at this point, but it's finally time to work on that hair. She has so much of it. Why did I put so much of that yarn hair? I also thought like the style was really cool, but we couldn't keep it like that. We needed to do something with it, but she kind of is giving me Queen of Hearts vibes with this big old floof on the top of her head. But here I am showing you how to get this mess from floof to sleek, amazing, actual looking hair. That's not how you say that. Hair that looks real. Anyway, I'm starting with taking a wire pet brush and brushing out the yarn. You are going to lose length when you do this. Don't worry. That's just inevitable because that's how the yarn was made. It wasn't made with like one long piece. It's made with lots of little pieces to become long. So once you brush it out, you take your straightener and you're basically melting the fibers. Once the fibers are melted, they become super sleek and super straight, giving you basically hair. Sometimes if the acrylic is really coarse, I will take some regular hair oil that I have. I think I use the Matrix brand or something like that. Paul Mitchell, I don't know. I use somebody's hair oil. If I can find it, I'll put it in the description box below. But I only use that if the hair is just unruly and doesn't want to become silky straight. But again, here's me just brushing it out. I know some people use like different kinds of brushes, but because we already took the strands apart one by one, just brushing it with a pet brush is more than enough. And I just use a lot of pressure and straighten the hair and then comb it out again. And you have this beautiful, silky, straight hair. Now, using my Cricut, which I no longer have, but I did replace it, I am making some designs, some Celtic knots for her dress. I really wanted to incorporate those beautiful designs that she had on her body onto her actual clothing, so I found some Celtic knots designs in the Cricut design space, and I went ahead and measured them, made them small, and cut them out with my Cricut machine. I am using heat transfer vinyl, or HTV if you're in the biz, but using the heat transfer vinyl, this is called weeding, where I take out the negative space that I no longer need, peel it up, and what you are left with is what you actually want to stick onto your fabric. So I used two different designs to make a pattern. I use this one, which I don't know what the meaning of this one is. It's like, it looks like a 4-leaf clover, so I don't know if it's luck. I have no idea. I did not do my research. I should have done that. You can come for me in the comments. I'm sorry. But I thought that these looked really cool and would make a nice pattern on the bottom of the skirt for her dress. And once they're all weeded, I go ahead and arrange them on the bottom, and I take my heat press. Now this is just a Cricut heat press. It isn't anything super special. It just is enough for me to get the job done. An iron really doesn't work because I don't think it gets hot enough, for me anyway. I've used an iron in the past. I had a big heat press that I used for like making t-shirts, but that was too much. So this works just perfectly for my projects. And I go ahead and do the back as well. Just take my heat press and press it on. Heat transfer vinyl is really cool and makes it kind of elevates your projects a little bit. As you can see, once I am done, I just pull off the film and those are permanently stuck on there, which is really cool. And I enjoy them. They look really neat on the skirt. They kind of give the fabric something because the fabric was so plain. And the last one, a close up for that awesome peel. So nice. Now I need to hem the skirt and sew it up. And then when I hem the skirt, it all went to poop. That is not supposed to happen. I wanted all the designs to be above the hemline, but that's what you get for doing a circle skirt. Can I tell you guys how much I hate circle skirts? Yeah, just throw that out. We don't need it. So in the end, I ended up hemming the skirt first. I made it, cut a new piece, hem the skirt first, then put on the designs, and then made the top and the little, it's not really a corset, but I guess you can call it a corset, to make this really cool skirt. And here she is, guys. She's all done. Again, a simple doll, but a really cool one, and I think just in time for St. Patrick's Day this week. I really like how her hair turned out. I really enjoyed working on her. She was a nice, fun, relaxing project to do. I remember I just wanted to get something up, and I'm so upset at myself for not getting this done last year because we could have made a cool doll this year. But I am glad that I was able to get the doll up at least. She will be for sale in my Etsy store. I will leave the link down below for her. So if you're interested, you can purchase her. I did get the pattern for her dress from Requiem Doll Designs, I believe, on Etsy. So if you are interested, I will put that link down below as well. And thank you guys so much for watching. It really does mean a lot to me when you guys show up, because it means that I'm doing something somebody else enjoys. And if you ever have any questions, we're a small enough channel right now where I can definitely answer them, and I have no problem doing that because this is a learning experience. If you want to learn to do this, this is the channel, because I'm so small, where you can learn to do it, because I have answers. And if I don't have answers, I will point you in the direction to where answers might be. So again, thank you so much, guys, and I will see you in the next one.